was to winning this race. And he said basically we all come out here with a very well prepared car, and we race as clean as we can, and we race for 24 hours, and then Ganassi wins. I think Ganassi has won a lot of these because they think through every single decision that they make, and I just decided this year that having the last guy in the car, who will be Alex again this year, with a little bit more energy, a little bit more focus, not being quite so tired, it would be a better idea. I want to mention something else too, and I think everybody here has mentioned this. It is rarely the fastest driver combination, if you will, that wins the race. And one of the things that I did not know till we were kind of going through this process is these three guys here who drove last year were they were three of the top four fastest driving Corvette drivers at the 24-hour race last year. And although they all did a good job, the car broke down on us. It's preparing the car properly. It's trying to think of all the things that might go wrong with a car. It's having everything that can be fixed quickly, able to be fixed quickly. But the real job is for each driver during their stint is not to race any car on the track, keep the car on the track, keep the car out of trouble, keep it from going behind the wall, and have the car and the driver be fresh at the end. And we came very, very close. We were second, and it was actually heartbreaking because I think if we had had a little bit more car at the end of that race last year, the 01 car was having a lot of overheating problems, and if we hadn't been behind the wall for, I think it was 11 laps, I think we would have won that race. So it was a heartbreaker to come that close. We won 2 championships, and winning championships is a thrill. But every single one of us really want to win this race, and we want to win it this year. And so the answer to your question is, we've thought through every manageable dimension of the race, and that's the reason we decided to go with 4 drivers this year.
I think the last 2 years we ran 3. Correct? And other times, 2009 was the last time we ran 4, I believe. Okay, correct. Very good. And for the record, because AG could tell you every lap time he's ever run, who was in the car at the end of the race last year? Yeah, John was actually. Yeah, so the plan was for Alex, but when we got delayed and the 02 car took a bite out of us too, I think we had more.
We were like 90 laps down.
Yeah, that was the plan, but right where we want him. Godwin, please. Thanks, Godwin.
Godwin Kelly, News Journal. Bob, not winning this race, does that just strengthen your resolve to win this race?
Absolutely. Everybody in everybody in our team, as I said, takes a lot of satisfaction out of the fact that we've won 2 championships. I often say that, frankly, winning a race here in this series is like a lifetime achievement award. Winning a championship is a really thrilling thing. And not winning a 24 is a huge disappointment. We really want to win a 24-hour race. GM has been a great partner of ours, and Chevrolet and Corvette really want to win this race. And I'm always optimistic when I come here. I always think we have the best driver lineup, and I always think we have the best prepared car. I certainly think that the Corvette is the best car on the track, and hopefully this year it'll all come together for us.
When you were talking about you had the car that could have won last year, is that kind of
no? 2008 is what is
2008,
right?
When you come close, does it hurt more? I mean, if your car breaks, your car breaks. But if you come close to winning and you're finished second, does that hurt more than finishing 30th?
That's a good question. Actually, they're all extremely painful. But coming close that year and realizing that it was just one little part, if that one little part hadn't broken, we would have won the race. That was really a heartbreaker for us. But I will tell you, everything about losing the 24-hour race is heartbreaking. Every time the car comes in off the track and we have to go in the garage area, and I look at that car and I look at my guys, breaking their necks to try to get the car fixed and back out on the track. takes a lot out of you. It's a very, very disappointing race not to win, especially when you have a championship team. I'm not trying to brag about this, and I don't mean this in a condescending way, but I think we have the best team in the series, and unless we win a 24-hour race, it may be a hollow thing to say. I think once we win the 24, I'll feel a lot better about the way I feel, which is I think we're the best team out here.
All right, and one more. This test, how important is this test going into the race?
Well, every time we get in the car is extremely important. We learn some little thing about the car every time we're in the car, and especially having now all four drivers here and having all of them be used to the sort of the same setup on the car is really very important. All of us sort of having a good sense of communication between each other is very important. We have four drivers that can talk to each other about the car, because the car changes itself all throughout the race. It gets cooler, it gets hotter, it gets wet, it gets dry. Stuff happens on the track, and the car acts differently. And the more the four of these guys can talk to each other about that car, the less likely it is we're going to have a mishap. So having this time together is extremely important.
Any additional questions? Please, Greg.
You guys going to do any special bonding activities away from the racetrack?
Any bonding activities?
We all went to Chipotle last night.
We all went to Chipotle last night, which we do at every track we go to. But usually we have a dinner the night before the race. Normally we have some GAINSCO insurance agents to entertain. We used to go to a dinner and there's about 100 people there. We talk to our audience, if you will, who are part of our sponsors for about an hour. They all really enjoy that session. But we have dinner before the race, and that's sort of our last moment of coming together before the big day the next day.
I didn't know, maybe you go jet skiing with Memo.
No, Memo does a lot of things that are kind of scary, so I try to stay away from that.
Can I ask one last one?
Please, Greg. Yeah.
Different drivers. What about behind the scenes with the crew? Any different people there, or any different techniques you're going to implement to try to avoid the DNFs?
We look at our crew every single year, and for the most part, the core of our crew has stayed together. But usually every year we will change one or two people in order to enhance the capability of the team. Sometimes we want to enhance our pit stops, and we film every single pit stop, and we kind of look through each person and see who maybe isn't getting the job done. But also, especially at this race, preparation and having a very solid mechanic who really understands and is very meticulous about every single part of the car. So we have a brand new guy this year who's done this for a lot of years, and I think that our guys think he's the best mechanic we've ever had. He's very, very meticulous. He really understands our car, and so we think with the addition of him, we will have the best prepared car that we have ever had here. I told the guys, we had a really good session today, and the last time that I remember us not complaining about the car immediately the first day, all the drivers, I should say, was in 2008. We rolled the car off the truck in 2008. It was fast. Alex had the pole that year. I'm sorry, it was in 2007. Excuse me. And the car was just beautiful. The car was very, very good today. It was pretty. It's never perfect, but it was pretty close to being perfect. There's a little bit of tweaking that we want to do to the car, but it was pretty fast today. And I think with the addition of this crew person, we're going to have a very, very durable car.
A significant addition too, and I'm going to ask Alex, pardon me, to speak to this because he knows him better than anybody. But John Ward joined us after the Rolex 24 last year. That was our final race with Kyle Brannon, who had been with the team, was a very valuable member of the team. So, Alex, talk about that. John, family friend, but also an incredible engineer who's got winning experience in everything he's ever been in, including last year in ALMS and soon with GAINSCO Bob Stallings. Talk about how critical that is to have a full season and the Rolex 24 with your engineer.
Yeah, I've known John Ward for most of my life, I think. So I was super excited when we were able to get him. When Kyle left the team after the 24-hour last year, we were kind of in a situation where it's difficult to find someone, top notch, and so I think we were very lucky to get that done. John had a lot of other things to do last year also, and was doing 2 series at once, and now he'll be doing just this with us. So I think that's going to pay dividends. He has so much experience. He's a designer, engineer, like you said. Was one of maybe the 2 main guys on the old GTP from the Toyota GTP from the early '90s that was so dominant. And the guy definitely knows what he's doing. So we're all very lucky to have him.
Also won an ALMS GT race last year with Falcon, and I believe Wolf Hensler and Brian Sellers. So he knows what he's doing, and I think Bob